Today's AskReddit post. What seemed nice when you were a child, but when you grew up turned out to not be so nice. Oh boy, this is gonna be a good one. Let's get started. Getting dizzy. We had an uncle who was tall and strong and would spin us around one by one. We couldn't get enough. I remember after my spin, I'd just laugh as I couldn't keep my balance and watch the world spin. Now, I avoid getting dizzy like the plague. I swam in some bodies of water as a kid that seemed fine, but looking back, adult me would never get in that water. Edit. Spelling. God, I feel this. I cut the webbing between two of my toes open on a clamshell as a kid in an area I would not even get in as an adult for fear I would die of septic shock just touching it. Edit. Webbing really was the wrong word. People think of ducks when really it is more a slightly larger flap of skin between my big toe and the next one on my feet. Or picking up rotting horseshoe crabs and chucking them at your friends. All fun and games until someone gets the business end. Piss clams and jellyfish. The armament of feral children. Piss clams. Are you Maritime Canada? Hello from Pay. Maritimer. Money. $5 was like $1. 0.00000 back then. Now I get paid $2k and it's gone in bills right away. Unlimited ice cream with no one telling me to stop before my stomach hurts. My most adult moment so far, other than getting married, divorced, married again, and having 2 children, is when I decided that I'm an adult, goddammit, and I can buy a chocolate shake and a banana split from Dairy Queen if I want to. I now know my dairy limit. When I was a child I was told that a lot of people would be offering me drugs. Now that I want to try drugs, no one is offering them. Can I interest you in an adult dose of naproxen? Yo man, I got these bombus medicated cough drops. You want some top shelf Theraflu? I only take psychedelic drugs. Well, excuse me, bro. Would you like an adult dose of LSD? We have some bomb-less medicated shrooms. Or top shelf peyote? Asterisk. Getting mail. If available, get the delivery notifications for mail. USPS has it. That sends you an email every day of what mail you are getting. That way you can know when it is time to pack the car and head to the woods to avoid those bills. You are an adult. I didn't even know that was a thing. How do you just know things? It was on Life Pro Tips a week or so ago. I have had it for years. It is really nice. You can also sign up with UPS and FedEx. This is nice if you have multiple people ordering stuff, as you know when anything is coming. Funny thing is they always say you can get more info about a package delivery time by signing in. Then you sign in and it says the same by end of day hat it said before. Still hoping that works right someday. As a child, I loved looking at the lobsters in the grocery store. I thought they sold them to be pets. Imagine my horror when I found out they are sold to be boiled alive and eaten. My dad brought home lobsters one time. As a kid, it was a magical day. We selected the lobsters, brought them home, and got to play with the forbidden creatures from the grocery store for a while on the kitchen floor. Then, we were sent out back, because it was the 90s and that's what happened as a kid. And when we came back, dinner was ready. It took longer than I'd like to admit to connect those dots. Forbidden creatures from the grocery store. Maybe it's the 7 beers I've had tonight. But I am ducking, crying, laughing at this string of words. No, it's pretty good. I've only had one joint. It is indeed a good one. I've had a melatonin gummy. Earning money. Don't get me wrong. I like earning money just like everyone else. But it sucks that the majority of a paycheck can't be spent on Nerf guns and Legos. My Lego collection would like very much to disagree with you. Eating fast food and ramen noodles when you want gets old pretty quickly. Found this out the hard way at university. Looking back, I think that's one of the reasons why my mental health took a turn for the worst. Being a grown up, I wish I could shrink down to the time I didn't have constant internal problems. We all do, friend. Those internal struggles don't go away. You just learn how to work with them and understand them. They are a part of you. And that's okay. More people than OP needed to be reminded of this. Thank you. Snowstorms. As a kid you're all yay no school. And you get bundled up and go outside and make snow angels and have snowball fights and go sledding and run around the whole goddamn day and come inside and mom has a grilled cheese sandwich and bowl of tomato soup. As an adult, oh fuck, I have to shovel the driveway and the goddamn sidewalk? Question mark? And then having to reshovel the end of the driveway when the plows come by and cover it up. And if you go out in your car there's a bunch of poop heads who only scrape the snow off the front windshield and the others who ignore the fact that road conditions aren't suitable for going 80 ducking mph anymore. Getting up early and listening to the radio as the announcer reads off the lists of closed schools. A lot of kids walk to school or had their parents drop them off. I later found out that was the main reason we usually just got 1 hour or 2 hour delays. Closed our school 1 hour delay closed. My school district started with Psy, which means we were always right after a crap ton of Saint whatevers. Nothing like sitting through 5 minutes of that poop only to not see your school, so you had to do it all over again just in case you had actually just missed it. Having gone to a T school, I feel your pain. High heels. It's not that they're not nice, just not practical for my daily life. I always wanted to grow up faster so I could steal some of my mom's really pretty heels. I thought they looked like the prettiest, classiest things and couldn't wait to wear some. Oh my god. The first time I wore a pair, I about wrecked my knee and twisted my ankle. Never mind the absolute agony my heels were in by the end of the day. Fuck that noise. I still think you're pretty, dad. Staying up all night. I used to want to stay awake all night and play video games. Now if I'm awake past midnight, it takes me 2 or 3 days to recover. I regularly fall asleep between 3 and 4 am. Please help my ducked up sleep schedule. D. 4 am is like the ducking event horizon of a black hole. I grew up in an extremely religious community that I only later found out had a lot of cult-like features. There were a lot of things that I thought were normal or even kinda great when I was a kid. Turns out television screen isn't actually the devil's device that it uses to enter your body. Holy poop, are we siblings? My mom told my ex that the scary movie she brought over on DVD would open a portal to hell and allow demons to enter her home. So we weren't allowed to watch it. Edit. Mobile. I got a ton of questions so I figured I would clarify. My mom is Christian and fully believes that media is a gateway to evil. Lucifer led the music while in heaven, and he still uses music today to influence people. The movie was Amityville Horror with Ryan Reynolds. We would have watched it in my room so she wouldn't have actually seen the movie. Not that that changes anything. A lot of you mentioned you have moms aunts that are the same way with Harry Potter and Pokemon. That just made me laugh because you mean actual magic and pocket monsters, right? My mom walked in on me playing Pokemon on the PC at 16 and we had a long conversation about how that still wasn't acceptable behavior under her roof. The longer the DVD stays on the house the stronger it becomes. You can't just blow a portal into the surface of TV. The nice old men who offered me desserts and candy. You think I'm joking, but I can clearly remember a few times guys would come up and offer me candy or giving me money for dessert and then winking and saying to meet in the parking lot. Was definitely not the smartest kid. Oh god, that's horrific. In some ways, I'm thankful that I was a hideous child with teeth that looked like they'd skin a dick in seconds. Hey, some dudes are into getting their dicks skinned. Dick skinned. If theirs isn't already a punk band with this name, you owe it to us to start one. Moon shoes. Those duckers almost killed me like 20 times. But I loved them when I was child and was oblivious to just how dangerous they are. Truth. Also incredibly embarrassing when I told my whole 3rd grade class I was going to get hover boots for my birthday only to find out they were just ducking mini trampolines you strapped to your feet. Why are we yelling? Because moon shoes. You never used moon shoes unless you almost or did roll your ankle. Those handcuffs in my mom's nightstand drawer. That buzzing massage thing next to the handcuffs in my mom's nightstand drawer. God, I wish this were a joke for me. Same. Homie, same. Food from McDonald's. Growing up as a middle-class child, Taco Bell, McDonald's, and other fast food were primo, top-tier luxury goods in my kid brain. Now, I'd rather get a nice meal at a sit-down place, which in this age is more of a risky luxury than anything else. I'm not even an adult yet and fast food has begun to disgust me. Living on a farm. I begged and begged my mom to buy a farm and have horses, etc. I have never even liked to literally get my hands dirty, though a horse would be nice. I was cured when someone moved into the neighboring farm and everything they owned was dirty, and the kids always had to help out with something on the farm. I grew up on a farm. I had a hard time doing chores outside as a kid with my OCD, but now that I'm an adult I love the farm life and everything that comes with it. Having big boobs. In elementary school I wanted to grow up to have big boobs because I thought that meant I'd be attractive. Now I'm fat with G-cups and back problems. Careful what you wish for. I had triple DS. Got a breast reduction and it has transformed my life. A proper fitting bra is cheaper and less invasive than surgery. Triple F. My $120 bras come from Germany and are worth every penny now that my back, neck, fingers no longer hurt and acid reflux went away. Dead fingers from pinched nerves? That's your bra. Burping all the time? Could be your bra. Edit. Find a store in your town city that specializes in bras for women going through breast cancer treatment. They'll measure you properly. My woman emails me when my bras leave Germany and I book an appointment. I pick up a swimsuit while I'm at the store. There's 4 or 5 different brand suppliers she uses. Her clients are all cancer patients or big titty women. My mom goes there now to get inexpensive swimsuits. All swimsuits and bras are tax-free because it's a medical supply store. Eating crayons. The blue ones still have a place in my heart. 3. And a place at the dinner table. The desire to be famous. I never understood why kids wanted that. I knew by like age 9 being famous sucks. Your privacy is taken away. Nosy busybodies entertain themselves gossiping about your private business. And you're recognized everywhere you go. You can't just be a regular person. A lot of kids like me thought about being rich. Getting to do whatever you wanted. Being loved like they love their idols. Getting to live a dream basically. Most of the downsides you listed aren't things that typically dawn on a kid's conscience. Grew up to a well-to-do family with last name recognized all over the city. To this day, I wonder how much different my life would have been. For better or for worse. I wish I knew what normal was. Not having to put on a show for literally everything. And when I'm not putting on a show, I'm anxious as hell and fiending for something. Usually weed. The bongs are actually famous all over the world. So it mustn't have been easy. Mike Bong. My mom acting like a teenager friend. We thought it was awesome as kids. It's not so awesome when you are an adult. I hate that my parents are so emotionally detached. The most simple things like talking to me about how they feel and having a normal relationship is instead a grueling task of listening to their passive-aggressive opinions. It's like I'm talking to a stranger. I talked to my parents together last year, for the first time, about a relationship I was in. They looked really sad about the BS that I was trying to communicate to my BF and he was just oblivious. Things like, can you take out the garbage before playing video games or empty your pockets before putting things in the laundry pile? My questions for my parents were, how long did it take you to figure out who would do what chores? They looked confused and said they didn't talk about it, they just did it. When I told them what my BF was doing, they were quiet and then said he isn't an adult yet. Do you really want to deal with that? I turn 40 soon. My parents have been married 50 years. They haven't asked why I am single since that convo. Emotionally detached might no be what your parents are. They might not really want to know how different your road is from theirs because they can't do anything to help, like when you were a kid. Disney. I used to think of magic and dreams coming true. Now I just think of copyright legal teams, acquisitions of companies, messing with Star Wars, and another streaming service to deal with. Not to mention the die-hard middle-aged fans who go to Disneyland every year. Those people unsettle me. I'm only 25, and my obsession is more with theme parks of the Six Flags and Cedar Point variety. But like, theme parks can be the ultimate escapism. You walk away from the real world for a week and enter a place you're familiar with, but doesn't have the mundaneness of your actual life. Also, you get to see children having the time of their life, and it's very heartwarming. Like I said, I'm more of the giant roller coaster kind of guy, but when it comes to places like Disney, I get it, and I'd love to spend a week at Universal every year if I had the cash. That's fair. I know a few people that have an eerie obsession with all things Disney, themed rooms, constant Facebook quizzes about which princess they are, going to Disney every year even without kids, etc. So I may be judging a little unfairly by that level of fanaticism. If someone wants an escape from the day-to-day at a theme park, I can totally understand that. Though, what I love as an adult, with kids, is that when I go to Disney World, they pick you up at the airport, drive you to your hotel, take you on a bus or boat anywhere you want to go in the parks. It is literally like stepping back to being 12 and your parents driving you everywhere. It's glorious. Quantity, quality friends. Took a while, but finally figured out the latter is definitely better. Spending my holiday without any friends, who even give enough of a poop to text back. I can have both quality and quantity of people who never return my messages. What the hell are friends anyways? Eating a whole cake in one sitting. It was a dream. I should have learned from Matilda that it was a nightmare my whole life. Cakes were reserved for birthdays and special occasions. See a yummy cake in the store? Maybe you can get it on your birthday in 2 months. A couple of weeks ago I realized that I am a full-grown adult and I can buy cake whenever the hell I want to for whatever reason or no reason at all. It has been a good couple of weeks. Watch out there. It's a slippery slope to cake for dinner with a jug of soda. Then you've gained 70 pounds in 2 years time and 8 years later you still haven't lost all the weight. And have lost a couple teeth to the bad habits that you had for those couple years of wanton soda and cake because dental care is too expensive and the rot continues even for years after you stop. Ask me how I know. Other people. I'll raise you. My father. He was like my hero. Now I realize he was and still is just a horrible human being. Wish I could have seen earlier on. Getting mail addressed to me. Your mom bathing you. Your mom bathing me, however, is every bit as titillating. I also choose this guy's mom. Cereal. So good as a kid. Then between 14-16 you start to just feel all the sugar on your teeth and throat. Cheerios won't do that. Cheerios are loyal. My friend thought I was the craziest human being alive for loving Cheerios. I get the same poop. Like Honey Nut? No. Just the regular ones. I'm more of a multigrain type of guy. Adulthood. Sure, it has got its perks but I would have enjoyed childhood a lot more. Had I known that being an adult also sucks a lot at the time. I gotta say, I feel the exact opposite. I love being an adult. I hated school, even though I was pretty good at it. Grew up in a super small town that wasn't even big enough to have a gas station. And haven't ever had a really good relationship with my parents. Know that I'm an adult. I go to a job that I love. Live wherever I want with my awesome spouse. Can have the friends that I want instead of just the friends I was geographically assigned to. I control my life and it's awesome. Snow. I never got to see it much as a young kid but now that I am older I wish we didn't have snow because I am the one who is forced to shovel it all the time. It sucks. Bill Cosby. Eating whatever you want. I wish someone was telling me not to eat a whole box of popsicles for breakfast. No one is here to stop me from getting extremely unhealthy. Going shopping for groceries. I thought it was some revered job of high importance and that he who picks the food is that of a god. And gushed whenever I was allowed to pick something out. My first time going to the store by myself to buy milk or butter I expected to feel like a king. These days, After I get home from a long day and open my fridge to find nothing with which I can make some sort of meal out of, I grunt before grabbing my keys to drive the 1.5 miles of road to the store to buy something. I actually love grocery shopping. Watching porn without incognito. I was a dim child, I didn't even know what that was. Back in my day we watched porn by downloading the clips over 56k connections and watching them with Real Player and QuickTime. Took 45 minutes to download a 45-second clip. Life. Oof, no replies. Water parks. Amazing how you're able to ignore the floating band-aids and diapers as a kid. The wave pool was still dope. Lazy rivers are God's gift to man. If I'm ever a billionaire, I'm going to open a water park that's just miles and miles of intertwining lazy rivers. It'll change the world. Christmas. I couldn't wait for it as a kid. Now I can't stand it. 1000% I do not like Christmas as all and activity try to get out of it. But I think if I ever have kids it will be fun again. Life in general. I thought it would be fun. And now it's nothing but absolute pain and torture. I hear that loud and clear. Fireworks. Now I want to sleep and not have my dog freak out for hours. Being a girl. NGL, being a girl's still kind of rad except for when I have to deal with men. Which sadly is still almost all the time. Birthdays used to be a fun time of year, celebrating that all the new things that you could do. Now they remind me of how little time I have left on this planet and that I won't be able to do all the things that I wanted to as a child. Like, you know, find out if there is a cutscene if you collect all the Pokemon Yellow Edition on the Game Boy and whatnot. I try to think of it as a marker that Jay survived. I had a traumatic teenagehood and was suicidal for a long time. Having a birthday is so incredible to me now because it means I'm actually still alive. Having a large house and yard seemed cool as a kid, but as an adult it's a lot to clean and do tons of yard work or pay someone to do it. I've never had a house with a yard. As a child I was envious of American houses with yards. As an adult I can only think it's more and more chores. Actually, in my opinion, everything became way better than expected. But my childhood was also very hard, so I'm glad that I can enjoy live now. Yeah, I became disabled at 16, so adulthood has been weird. But it's still better than the years 5-11. Mostly because I barely remember a lot of those years due to trauma. Whoops. Shitty childhoods make even challenging adulthood less bad. Bro, you actually watched the whole video. I'd give you a high five if I was a human. Make sure to click the like button and subscribe for more great content. See you next time.